How can he see me? Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Guys, we, we've been I've been asked a lot to do a series on modding, and it's just real talk. It's just not hasn't been happening. Unfortunately, it hasn't been, and it's because it's so daunting to try to tackle all the different mods in the game. I mean, here's the thing too, that there's a lot of good modding series out there on other channels, and they've been kind of lying dormant. I mean, I know some people watch them, but you have to stay current in modding. It's not just something you apply and then walk away. And so my GAC, some people ask me how, it's the secret sauce to my success. Like there's a lot of different things that I do to prepare, but one of them is making sure I have relevant mods. And so what I decided was I'm gonna be changing my mods anyways, every week-ish. I can't promise that this will be a weekly series or anything, but I may as well, after I have modded them, I can just explain what's going on, what I'm doing to stay current, and what my reasoning is. And so these videos hopefully will be around 10 minutes or so. This one will be a little longer because I'm rambling about this, but that's the idea, is just showing you a snapshot of the things I'm doing on my, not only my main, but also my alt, and sometimes even Prevail Man, just to stay current, try to get my roster upgraded, because modding, I don't have the most crazy roster of mods because I don't spend a huge amount of dollars on them, but it's actually not a bad bang for your buck. But at the same time, my my mods are still relevant because I'm putting them in the right places and applying the right levers to the right team. So that being said, today we're going to talk about Grievous and B2 on my main account. I remodded them. Greef and Bossk on my alt account, and then Stormtrooper on my main. So let's jump in. Before we do that, folks, just want to remind you, if you want to support this channel for free, I would really appreciate, just hit that like button, leave a comment in the comments, and or leave a sub. Don't leave a sub, keep a sub. Grab one for yourself, please. Would really help the channel, mount the algorithm. If you don't want to watch the channel, that's fine. A sub still add quite a bit of support to this channel, though, to be honest. So that being said, folks, let me know in the comments what you think of this video, of this format, etc. We're going to be kind of brief, trying to use economy of language, etc. But we're going to jump in to these mods, and I'll show you guys what I'm doing, what my thought processes are. Hopefully, a competitive GAC player can offer at least a little bit of insight. Who knows? Okay, here we are. Here we are, folks. We've got modding. We've got characters and modding. First off, B2. Now, there's a couple different things that's going on here, folks. Now, Bad Batch are going to, in general, be a really strong counter to Grievous. However, there is kind of a loophole. If your B2 can get a turn, he's going to potentially just ruin everything, because Bad Batch rely on all that stealth and all those buffs and everything, and if B2 is constantly taking turns, they're going to get wrecked, because they have a mechanical advantage, not just like a power advantage. And so what's going on here, I put as much tenacity as I can here, because the failure point with Bad Batch is if they can't stun B2, then they are potentially just screwed. Not every time, but if you put Grievous on defense, you put as much a ruinous amount of tenacity on him, and then B1 also adds another 50% tenacity. So he's sitting right at 230 tenacity right now, 232.5 at the very start, and Echo doesn't, so Echo starts by dazing everyone. You can't avoid that. But then Tech goes, he tries to stun. He's going to be at around 140, 160% potency, something like that. Not too much more, because he needs speed. He needs a speed set, most likely. So if he's at 100, if he's at 160%, if that's still only like a 40% chance to apply. Now hold on, 160. It's like a 30% chance to apply the stun, and then Wrecker gets to go. He gets to try to apply the stun, and if they can't get that stun, there's hope. B2 might get a turn, and so that's kind of what is going on with him. Lots of tenacity and very little else. I mean, we've got the crit avoid arrow, of course, that's key, but we've also got tenacity on here. Defense, a little bit of offense randomly, but note that it's a 6E arrow because you get extra crit avoid. You want tenacity, you want the 6E or higher. On tenacity, you get speed, protection, defense, blah, blah, blah. But you don't care about speed, you care about tenacity. That's the thing. You want that bonus tenacity from the 6 dot mod bonus. Right here, you can see no speed at all, but extra tenacity. Right here, we could swap this out for more tenacity, but I did like this. This is a ton of potency, not too much speed, and it's on a tenacity diamond. Like, hard to find that. Again, this adds to his survivability, so another 6E mod on his defense, and then tenacity on here. So lots of tenacity all over the place, wherever we can get it. And the potency, I've never cared much about his potency because he's going to ramp up over time. People are going to resist his debuffs, and he's going to ramp up on his potency. He doesn't ramp up on tenacity, though, so get it while it's hot. I've always liked having tenacity. We're just going to max it now, though. Now, the other one that we're doing here, folks, is going to be General Grievous on this account. And this is for the other side of the board, guys, if I want to take him for offense. So if I decide, okay, Bad Batch are just too strong of a counter, too naturally strong against a Grievous team to like, realistically want to keep Grievous on defense, then on offense, he's going to want a lot of potency because he relies on target locks for all of his stuff. Like, he needs, every time he hits someone with target lock, or anytime anyone is hit with by someone with target lock, it gives him 4% turn meter, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it's also like if someone does an AoE on them with on people with 5 target locks, that's 20% turn meter, but then B1 is also hitting them for another 4%. It really adds up, and the whole rest of the team is getting turn meter. Like, that's the source of his power, is target lock. And I'm probably missing something, you guys can let me know. But what I did, guys, I did something maybe foolish, but this is the kind of speculative thing that you should learn to, soon you will learn to appreciate me. I do these things because there's a couple different reasons. I need to stop telling you why I'm doing things before I tell you what I'm doing. So I put Relic 8 on Grievous earlier tonight. I could have put it on a different pilot, but I put it on Grievous because I want him to be able to have potency on his kit, by which I mean he gains a bunch of health from his final level, and that means that you don't need as much health here. I was always fine with his damage at Relic 7, but now we can take away his health cross and add a potency cross instead. Now, I don't know if this is enough. We're starting with 87 potency, and it's gonna ramp up 10% every time someone resists something. So his first AoE, he has a chance to gain, if they resist everything, he has a chance to gain 120% potency. But this is for like the counters to take out Commander Luke and stuff. Some of those Luke teams have a ludicrous amount of tenacity on their Chewie, and so potency, I don't know if this is enough potency, but this is a starting point. This is what I locked in at, and the rest of it, it's all we've got, health and everything. So we'll see how it goes. This is a starting point for him. We'll probably revisit what he's doing and how he is approached, but I could see maybe getting rid of one of the health sets for a potency set, and that's probably about all I'm willing to do. So, and if that doesn't work, then as a viable counter, then we'll move along. So that's what I'm doing with my droids. Now let me show you my Imperial Stormtrooper. I'm not finished with him, but I did get him relics today. And there's a kind of this interesting dynamic here, folks. So he really likes to have it depends on where he's going, I guess. That's the main thing. Where is he going to hang out? Is he going to hang out with Lord Vader? For me, I'm Division 1, with all the all the toys and everything. And so if he's with Lord Vader, you want him to have lots of protection because it's easier for him to gain protection. Because that's it. The mods just boost him more with protection than health. Because when he goes with Lord Vader, he's Empire. All of that protection is going to convert immediately into health, and therefore you'll have a higher health pool than if you had just modded for health in the first place. Now, the thing about it is, folks, I don't necessarily just want him for Lord Vader. Right now, Lord Vader is the goal. So I put him to Relic 5, and that's super fun and all, but I did 4 5v5 because he's going to go with Lord Vader probably. So then I can have Shore elsewhere. I put protection everywhere on him. But the interesting thing about Stormtrooper, guys, you don't need speed. You just make him taunt, and then he'll taunt some more. And then, I put defense sets on him. But then 40% defense for each living Empire ally, 40% offense, blah, blah, blah. We gain defense, everything. But the biggest thing that's really interesting to me in 3v3, the reason I got this team up, my buddy Byro, who watches the channel sometimes, he was telling me about a team he uses in 3v3 with Thrawn lead, Gideon, and Stormtrooper. And you want a lot of health here because with that team, you're not converting your protection into health. You keep your protection. And then all of your power kind of is based off of, you're gaining this 20% protection up at the start of his turn. And so you want him to be fast and you want him to have lots of health because everyone is gaining 20% protection up. And that protection up stat comes directly from his health. So this is going to be a thing where I'm going to be swapping between 3v3 and 5v5 because he's going to be benefiting from that because he is going to be with his buddies in with Moff Gideon and stuff in 3v3. So I'm excited about Stormtrooper. Now I'm going to cut to the alt account. You guys won't see it. I have to go move there though. So see you in 1 minute. Alright, we are back, and you guys didn't even notice how long that took me. I even did an arena battle in the middle of that and typed on Discord for approximately 30-ish seconds. Approximately-ish. So, what we're doing here, folks, you can see my lack of relics on this on the bounty hunters, but I do have a lot of flags on them. I'm thinking of actually getting them up for my next big quest, which is to get Executor, just so I can start farming it slowly over time. We need to be thinking about that, but that isn't the consideration that's going on here. Now, what we need to be doing, I need to get Mando up. He's not going to be ready for this week, certainly, but we need to start paying attention to what Bossk and Greef are doing. So this whole team is predicated on, right now I use the Bossk, Jango, Boba core with Greef, and then sometimes Mando, sometimes Dengar, and then eventually we're going to incorporate Aura Seeing Lead. You can see she has her Zeta and everything, but what we really need for any of those to work out the way I want them to be, we have to have Bossk super fast and Greef a little less fast. So I know that the speeds here are maybe a little ruinous. You guys have seen my mods on my main account quite a bit, but my alt account has not been in alignment with that. So what we're doing here with Bossk, we want him to be fast, so he's 321 speed. I know, it's stupidly fast. You don't need it to be that fast right now, at least, but the idea is, keep in mind whatever his speed is, Greef wants to be 1 less speed. On top of that, though, and you can see I have a mismatched set. That's not ideal, but we'll be okay. So we want protection everywhere on Bossk if we can, because if you're going to have him run him as lead, he's going to benefit from a lot of protection because his kit gives him bonus protection. You're also going to want defense and 6E because, you're also going to be trying to get that extra speed anyways, and then all the defense, make him super tanky, especially because speed set doesn't do anything for how much defense he has. So, speed set, and then either a defense set, tenacity set, health set, one of those things on Bossk is just fine. But the idea is you want speed and protection, And those are the two main considerations for Bossk. So he's 321. Now, if I had clocked it perfectly, but I'm not finished modding them the way I want them to be for speed. So Greef is at 315. So he's slower. He needs to be slower than Bossk. He doesn't have to be exactly 320 to Bossk's 321. Because, as I said, we're going to be upgrading his mods anyways. Like, we've got one roll on here, we've got 2 rolls on this thing, potentially 1 roll on here, 1 roll on here. This one is done, but this one can get another 2. Like, he can be quite a bit faster than this. And the idea is, as long as those 2 are faster than the fastest opponent, you can beat most any team, because you're going to be gaining so much turn meter from Mando's turn meter increases from his Zeta here. So you want the Greef Zetas, you want the Bossk Zetas, Mando 1 Zeta, not the lead Zeta, and then Aura probably wants hers, and then usually the 5th is going to be Aura wants her lead, to be clear. Boba probably wants, he doesn't care about his Zeta. He's usually the one who's the 5th. Django can also fill in there. So anyways, that's what I'm doing with my teams. This is the preliminary push on my bounty hunter team. It's not ready yet on my alt, but now that we have the right timing for Bossk and Greef, then Bossk can taunt, Greef can go, Bossk gets that frenzy, so he gets another turn, and he gets to call. So they'll call all of their mass assists, and by the time they're done calling their mass assists, a lot of times Aura is going to have given them their contract. Mando has been getting all the crits and has gained all the turn meter and can then disintegrate someone. So that's what's going on my alt. Just a couple characters at a time, incremental change, folks. And then I probably have been irresponsible. Let's look at our mods real quick. I wonder if I just discarded those Bossk mods. Let's see. Let's just see what we've just left in the hopper here. So who cares about speed arrows? Let's see what we've got here. So let's see. We've got a plus 18 speed just sitting there. Plus 17, plus 17, 16. Let's see. Plus 15. We're 15 down, or plus 15. We're 20 down. So we have 20 mods right now that are at plus 15. Where does that end? Okay, 22 mods at 15 speed or higher, just sitting there dormant on my alt. Seems maybe a little foolish. And then some 6E. Yeah, we could have cleaned things up. But that being said, yeah. All right, folks. This video's getting a little long. I hope this was helpful. Please let me know if you want a different format or if something else would help you. Would love some feedback. Can't promise anything that'll change anything, but I'm excited for this series. Hopefully it works out for all of us. That being said, thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails.